What happens when a picture-perfect bond is suddenly shaken by the arrival of a mysterious third person? The love triangle between Dara and Jung has taken fans by storm, leaving everyone buzzing with excitement and curiosity. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we dive into this thrilling story right now. What happens when two of Korea's most admired stars suddenly find their perfect pairing thrown into chaos by the unexpected arrival of a third person? It is the kind of storyline that fans usually expect to watch unfold in a high-rating K-drama, but this time, the narrative has spilled out of fiction and into reality, capturing the attention of audiences around the world. Dara, the timeless star whose journey from idol legend to actress has captivated fans for more than a decade, and Jung, the dashing prince of Korean dramas known for his charisma and depth, were already a duo fans adored. But then came the third person, an enigmatic presence whose involvement suddenly transformed admiration into obsession, sparking endless debates, theories, and frenzies across social media. For years, fans of Dara and Jung had whispered about their chemistry, from award show stages to casual interactions during variety appearances. The two seemed to embody that rare quality of connection that transcends the scripted lines of entertainment. Dara, with her radiant smile and approachable charm, seemed to bring out a lighter, playful side of Jung, whose usual persona was often reserved, even mysterious. Every shared glance became fuel for shipping communities. Every offhand joke between them spun into hours of fan analysis. To many, they were destined to be the next great on-screen, and perhaps even off-screen, pairing. But no love story, whether in dramas or in real life, were complete without conflict. Enter the third person, whose identity sparked waves of speculation. Was it a fellow actor, quietly close to Jung? Was it a younger idol who admired Dara's effortless beauty and sought to capture her heart? Or was it simply a figure thrust into the spotlight by circumstance, misunderstood and exaggerated by the hungry eyes of the media? Whoever this third presence was, one thing became undeniable: their shadow loomed over Dara and Jung's bond, transforming what had been a sweet, fan-approved duo into a tangled love triangle that no one could ignore. The media immediately seized the narrative. Headlines screamed of rivalry, of tension, of stolen glances that hinted at more than friendship. Photographs surfaced, some crisp and undeniable, others grainy and ambiguous, each one dissected by fans desperate to confirm their suspicions. Entertainment reporters speculated endlessly on talk shows, fanning the flames of curiosity. Suddenly, Dara and Jung were not just co-stars or celebrities, they were the central figures in a story of passion, jealousy, and suspense. The kind of story that sells magazines and dominates online forums for weeks. Fans, of course, were quick to take sides. Some doubled down on their loyalty to Dara and Jung, insisting that no outsider could shake the undeniable chemistry they had witnessed for years. They created edits that highlighted the strongest moments between the two. From the way Dara laughed at Jung's dry humor to the way his eyes softened whenever she entered the room. For them, the third person was nothing more than an obstacle, a temporary twist in a story whose ending was already written. Others, however, found themselves intrigued by the new dynamic. What if the triangle makes the story more thrilling? One fan commented on a popular forum. Isn't it more exciting when love is tested? It was this very excitement that turned the triangle into not just a rumor, but a phenomenon. At the center of it all was Dara, whose career has always been defined by resilience. From her days as part of 2NE1, where she rose to international stardom, to her transition into acting and hosting, she has shown an ability to adapt, reinvent, and thrive. Her image, sweet yet strong, approachable yet glamorous, made her a natural favorite in this unfolding drama. Fans were protective of her, eager to shield her from any whispers of betrayal or heartbreak. Every time she appeared in public, eyes scanned her expressions for signs of joy, sadness, or hidden messages. Was her smile as bright as ever? Did her silence suggest discontent? For Dara, every step became a headline, every gesture a clue. Jung, too, found himself thrust into the spotlight like never before. Known for his roles in hit dramas such as 49 Days and Cinderella with 4 Nights, he had built an image of a romantic hero, steadfast and charming. His fans adored him not only for his talent but also for his gentle presence in interviews and fan meetings. But now, the public demanded answers. Where did his loyalty lie? With Dara, the woman who seemed to bring out his most authentic self? Or with the enigmatic third person, whose sudden proximity had shaken everything. Ilwoo's famously guarded demeanor only added fuel to the fire. His refusal to confirm or deny rumors was interpreted 1,000 different ways, each interpretation sparking fresh waves of debate. The third person, meanwhile, became a figure of fascination and controversy. Depending on who told the story, they were either a villain who had disrupted a destined pairing or an underdog challenging the status quo. Social media swirled with theories about their motives, personality, and relationship history. Every interaction they had with either Dara or Ilwoo was magnified, replayed, and scrutinized until even the most innocent gestures became evidence of something scandalous. The more they tried to remain in the background, public projected narratives onto them, turning them into a character in a play they never auditioned for. Weeks turned into months. The love triangle became more than just gossip, it became a cultural event. Talk shows invited experts to weigh in on why audiences are so drawn to triangles, pointing to the timeless appeal of suspense, jealousy, and desire. Academic articles popped up analyzing the phenomenon as a reflection of modern fandom culture, where the line between fiction and reality has blurred beyond recognition. International media picked up the story, framing it as yet another example of how Korean entertainment continues to captivate global audiences. Suddenly, Dara, Jung Il-woo, and the mysterious third person were no longer just individuals, they were symbols of something larger. Something that spoke to the human fascination with love and rivalry. For Dara and Il-woo, however, the pressure was immense. Behind the flashing cameras and online debates were still human beings navigating emotions, careers, and personal boundaries. Friends described them as leaning on each other for support. Even as the outside world demanded clarity, both stars maintained their professionalism, continuing to attend events, film projects, and smile for fans. But the undercurrent of tension was undeniable. Even their silence became newsworthy. Why don't they deny it? Fans wondered. Why don't they admit it? Every absence of a statement only deepened the intrigue, transforming their restraint into yet another twist in the ongoing saga. And so, the love triangle that began as a whisper grew into a roaring spectacle. A drama that captivated millions without a script or a director. Its future remained uncertain, its outcome unknown. Would Dara and Il-woo reaffirm their bond and silence the rumors once and for all? Would the third person emerge victorious, rewriting the story in their favor? Or would the triangle collapse under the weight of fame, leaving only fragments of what once seemed so thrilling? What was certain, however, was this: fans could not look away. The story had become too addictive, too compelling, too filled with the very elements, romance, betrayal, suspense, that make love triangles an eternal part of storytelling. Whether real or imagined, whether destined for resolution or tragedy, the love triangle of Dara, Jung Il-woo, third person had already secured its place as one of the most unforgettable sagas in recent K-entertainment history. If the first act of this saga was about the spark, the way Dara and Jung Il-woo's bond was tested by the arrival of an unexpected third person, then the second act is about the fire. What began as whispers and speculation soon ignited into a storm of drama, dividing fans, consuming headlines, and transforming three celebrities into the unwilling protagonists of a love story more intense than any K-drama script. The frenzy only grew after the first wave of paparazzi photos and ambiguous interactions. Entertainment outlets began producing entire segments devoted solely to analyzing the so-called triangle. Variety shows ran montages of Dara and Il-woo's sweetest moments, only to juxtapose them with clips of the third person, framing every encounter as a battle for affection. Respected news anchors found themselves chuckling as they reported on the most exciting love triangle in biz. It was everywhere, on television, in magazines, and across every corner of social media. Fans could not stay neutral. The internet fractured into factions, passionately defending their chosen narrative. The Dara Il-woo loyalists doubled down, declaring that their bond was undeniable and that no outsider could ever come between them. They flooded Twitter with edits of their favorite couple moments, insisting that what they shared was authentic and irreplaceable. On the other side, the third-person supporters emerged, intrigued by the idea of a new dynamic and hungry for more suspense. For them, the triangle wasn't a tragedy, it was a thrilling plot twist. Memes and hashtags reflected the chaos. Team Dara Il-woo and Team Third Person trending simultaneously. as though fans were voting for their favorite storyline in a drama rather than debating real lives. The effect on the stars themselves was profound. Dara, always known for her poise and grace, faced mounting pressure. Every public appearance became a test. If she smiled too brightly, fans speculated she was masking heartbreak. If she appeared subdued, claimed it was evidence of betrayal. Yet through it all, Dara remained unshaken, continuing to show her professionalism on set, fans warmly, and projecting strength. Her resilience only deepened the admiration of her supporters, who rallied to her defense with renewed passion. Jung Il-woo found himself in an even more precarious position. His natural reserve, once seen as mysterious and charming, became a source of endless speculation. Silence was interpreted as guilt. Ambiguity was read as confession. When he praised Dara in an interview, fans of the third person accused him of stringing two hearts along. When he mentioned the third person's talent, Dara's fans erupted in outrage. For Il-woo, every word became a weapon that could wound one side while emboldening the other. It was a delicate balancing act that seemed impossible to win. The third person, meanwhile, went from being a side figure to a cultural lightning rod. Whether they intended it or not, they became the face of disruption. The villain in the eyes of some and the underdog in the eyes of others. Every action they took was magnified. A simple Instagram post became breaking news. A casual dinner with friends became proof of their intentions. To some, they were unfairly villainized in a story they never asked to be part of. To others, they were the spark that made everything exciting. The wild card that turned a sweet pairing into a full-fledged drama. As the love triangle dominated public discourse, brands and advertisers also felt the impact. Dara, long considered a safe and reliable face for endorsements, found her image complicated by the whispers of heartbreak. Some brands leaned into it, portraying her as strong and resilient, and admired for her ability to endure storms. Others hesitated, worried about alienating fans of the third person. Il-woo, once the quintessential Prince Charming of K-drama, suddenly carried an edge of controversy. Would his endorsements suffer? Or would the intrigue make him even more compelling? And for the third person, the effect was paradoxical. While some deals disappeared in the face of backlash, new opportunities arose, capitalizing on their sudden notoriety. But beyond careers and contracts, the cultural meaning of the triangle grew larger. Commentators began to explore why audiences were so captivated. They pointed to the timeless allure of love triangles in storytelling. From Shakespeare to modern dramas, triangles, they argued, embody the very essence of suspense, the push and pull between desire and loyalty, the pain of jealousy, the thrill of competition. In Dara, Il-woo, and the third person, fans saw not just celebrities but archetypes, the beloved heroine, the noble hero, and the disruptive outsider. It was mythology reborn in real time, out on screens and timelines instead of on stage. Emotional climax came when rumors of a joint appearance began to circulate. According to insiders, Dara, Il-woo, and the third person would all attend the same award show. The anticipation was electric. Fans counted down the days, speculating endlessly on what might happen. Would Dara and Il-woo reaffirm the bond with a glance or a smile? Would the third person steal the spotlight, reshaping the narrative entirely? Or would the three simply remain professional, denying fans the confrontation they so desperately craved? When the night finally arrived, the atmosphere was electric. Cameras flashed, fans screamed. Every second was broadcast live to millions. What happened on that stage became the stuff of legend. Appeared radiant, her smile calm but powerful. Il-woo, ever the gentleman, stood tall and composed, his gaze flickering between Dara and the audience. The third person, meanwhile, walked with a confidence that seemed to dare the world to keep speculating. And though not a single direct acknowledgement of the triangle was made, the tension was palpable. Like a drama scene suspended in time, fans erupted online, declaring it the climax of the saga. "Did you see the way he looked at her?" one tweet screamed. "Did you see the way the third person smiled?" another countered. Every detail became evidence, every gesture proof of 1,000 competing theories. In the days that followed, the frenzy refused to die down. Instead, it grew. YouTube channels produced breakdowns of the award show, analyzing body language second by second. Articles proclaimed it the most unforgettable moment of the year in biz. Even international outlets covered it, at how a single triangle had captured so much attention. And through it all, fans remained divided. Passion only deepened by the ambiguity. In the end, perhaps that was the secret to the triangle's power, the lack of resolution. In dramas, triangles eventually end, one person is chosen, the other left behind. But in real life, uncertainty lingered. The absence of closure became its own kind of thrill. A never-ending cliffhanger that kept audiences hooked. Dara, Jung, and the third person became living symbols of suspense, embodying the allure of questions without answers. So the love triangle endures. Its outcome unknown. Its impact undeniable. Whether it is resolved tomorrow, next year, or never at all, it has already carved its place in the history of K-entertainment. For fans, it is more than gossip. It is a story that made them feel alive, that gave them something to argue, dream, hope about. For the stars, it is both a burden and a gift, proof of their ability to captivate, but also a reminder of the price of fame. As the lights fade and the world waits for the next chapter, one truth remains: love triangles may be born of conflict, but they thrive on fascination. In the case of Dara, Jung, and the mysterious third person, fascination has turned into legend. Just when fans thought they had seen the peak of the frenzy, the triangle spiraled into even more dramatic territory, turning into a spectacle that felt less like real life and more like a primetime thriller. What had begun as whispers of chemistry and speculation about a mysterious outsider now erupted into full-blown scandal, threatening to shake the very foundations of the stars' careers. The turning point came with a series of leaked photos that spread across online communities like wildfire. Grainy, blurred, and ambiguous. They allegedly showed Jung and the third person in a private setting, sharing a quiet meal, walking side by side, as though the world outside did not exist. The internet erupted. For Dara's fans, his betrayal made visible, proof that Jung had chosen someone else. For Jung's defenders, it was nothing more than a friendly outing, twisted by paparazzi intent on fueling chaos. Yet regardless of interpretation, the damage was done. Lines screamed of secret dates and stolen moments, fueling the belief that the triangle had crossed from speculation into reality. Dara, caught in the storm, became the symbol of heartbreak. Her next public appearance was dissected frame by frame. Smile deemed too forced, her silence too heavy. Fans rallied to her defense, flooding social media with messages of support. "Stay strong, Dara," became a trending phrase, accompanied by fan-made graphics, videos, even protest trucks demanding the media respect her privacy. She became not just an entertainer but a heroine in the eyes of the public, a woman enduring betrayal under the harsh glare of fame. Jung, meanwhile, found himself vilified by one half of the internet and defended fiercely by the other. His once golden reputation as K-drama's perfect prince now carried the taint of scandal. Variety shows replayed the leaked clips, body language experts analyzing his every gesture, debating whether he looked too comfortable or genuinely affectionate with the third person. Some fans accused him of playing both sides, refusing to clarify the truth. Others praised his professionalism for keeping silent in the face of chaos. His silence became its own kind of statement, one that only deepened the mystery. The third person, once an enigmatic figure, was thrust brutally into the spotlight. Social media accounts were bombarded with both adoration and hate. Some fans crowned them the winner of the triangle, celebrating their boldness and newfound fame. Others attacked mercilessly, accusing them of meddling, of destroying a pairing fans had cherished for years. The third person's every post, every outfit, every public appearance became ammunition for the battle. They were either a villain or an underdog, depending on which side of the fandom you belonged to. As the firestorm grew, the industry began to tremble. Advertisers debated whether to cut ties or capitalize on the hype. Producers wondered if Dara and Jung could ever be cast together again without overshadowing entire projects with their scandal. Entertainment talk shows leaned in harder than ever. The triangle is the biggest real-life drama of the year. International media outlets amplified the narrative, calling it Korea's ultimate celebrity love triangle, eating global curiosity. Then came the awards show, the night fans and journalists alike described as the climax of the saga. For the first time since the scandal erupted, three figures appeared on the same stage. The anticipation was unbearable. The red carpet became a battlefield. Cameras flashing as Dara arrived in a gown that radiated elegance and resilience. Wu stepped out in a sharp suit hiding his unease. Third person walked with daring confidence. Head held high as though daring the world to keep speculating. Inside the venue, the tension was palpable. Every camera focused on their seating arrangements. Every glance magnified. When Wu clapped for Dara's performance, fans screamed online, was it loyalty? Or guilt? When the third person smiled during Wu's speech, hashtags exploded, was it victory? Or provocation? The internet went wild, turning the award ceremony into the most watched event of the season. The climax reached its height when Dara, Wu, third person stood on stage together, presenting an award. For a few minutes, the world seemed to stop. Fans held their breath as they exchanged polite words, their smiles professional yet fragile. Every flicker of emotion scrutinized by millions. It was a moment of pure tension, like a K-drama finale stretched across reality. And yet, no answers came. Confession, no denial. No dramatic reveal. Only silence and ambiguity. A cliffhanger more powerful than any scripted ending. Fans erupted with theories, their interpretations clashing violently across platforms. Some declared it proof that Dara and Wu remained unshakable. Others swore the third person had won the battle. Still others believed all three were victims of a story that had grown far larger than any of them. In the aftermath, one truth became clear: this was no longer just about a triangle. It had become a cultural obsession. Drama that blurred the lines between entertainment and reality. Whether true love, staged publicity, or something in between, the saga had captivated millions, leaving them hungry for the final chapter. The world now waits, restless and divided. Will Dara and Wu reconcile and silence the rumors? Will the third person step forward with the truth? Or will the triangle remain forever unresolved, lingering in the imaginations of fans as one of K-entertainment's greatest mysteries? One thing is certain, never before has a love triangle left fans this breathless. After the storm of headlines, endless speculations, and the dramatic awards show moments, what lingers is not scandal but the humanity behind it all. The core of this so-called love triangle are three individuals, Dara, Jung, Wu, and the mysterious third person, each of them living under the unrelenting spotlight of fame. Each of them carrying the weight of expectation, admiration, and scrutiny. Dara, the story has highlighted her strength and resilience. Through every rumor and every headline, she has remained composed, radiating the grace that has defined her career for more than a decade. Fans look at her and see not a victim of gossip but a woman who has weathered storms before and emerged even stronger. For Jung Wu, the experience has tested his image as a romantic hero, forcing him to balance silence, professionalism, and authenticity. His journey in this saga reminds audiences that even the most admired figures are human, vulnerable to both misunderstanding and love. For the third person, thrust into the center of a narrative they may never have intended, this chapter has revealed how easily one can be transformed into symbol, villain, or underdog in the eyes of millions. In the end, perhaps the fascination was never about betrayal or rivalry. Perhaps it was about the way love, real or imagined, transforms people. It makes the cold grow warmer, guarded more open, the ordinary extraordinary. Whether the triangle was truth, rumor, or something in between, it reflected the universal pull of connection and conflict, of hope and heartbreak. That is why fans could not look away, because in Dara's smile, in Wu's silence, third person's mystery, they saw pieces of themselves, their own fears and longings mirrored in the glittering stage of K-entertainment. And now, as the noise begins to fade, remains is gratitude. Gratitude to the stars who, knowingly or not, reminded us of the complexity of love. Gratitude to the fans who kept the story alive. Moments into memories and rumors into legends. Gratitude to the cultural phenomenon that proved once again why K-drama, whether scripted or live, continues to capture the hearts of the world. To our readers, thank you for taking this journey with Red Carpet Revealed. Thank you for feeling the highs, enduring the lows, cherishing the story as it unfolded. In the end, whether Dara and Jung Wu's bond is unshakable, third person rewrites the narrative, or whether the truth remains forever a mystery, one lesson shines above all: love, complicated, messy, thrilling, heartbreaking love, is what makes us human. And so, as we close this chapter, we leave you with a thought that has carried fans through every twist and turn. The triangle may remain unresolved, but its impact will never be forgotten.